All right, welcome to another episode of Two Fight Fans, where we talk about all things in combat sports. I am one stupid, donkey-brained fight fan, Collin.
And I'm a smart fight fan. I'm a cultured fight fan, Stuart.
You got a few more points than me because I'm looking at this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I called the decision. I called that you picked Cannoneer when it was clearly MVP. And I will say the big miss was neither one of us called that there'd be two spinning back elbow KOs.
Yeah, who would
On
have
this
thought?
card.
Who would have
I know.
thought?
Surprising stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, a pretty good card, I thought, for a main card.
Entertaining. Yeah, entertaining main card for sure. I didn't watch any of the prelims, so I wasn't home for that, so.
Yeah, why would you? There's no point.
I don't know.
Nah, you don't need to watch it.
Nah.
Yeah.
We'll touch on a few things.
About the least entertaining fight of the night. Or was it? Collin, did you enjoy watching the main event? Khamzat Chimaev versus DDP?
Okay, that's the thing. I actually had a question for you about that, but did I enjoy it? I mean, I was impressed at times and then also not impressed at times. Like it's this I'm very wishy-washy on this right now. I'm just gonna admit that. But like, and I'm trying to work my way through how I assess this fight. And I feel like it's a little bit of both because we both talked about how the way this fight finishes, it was gonna be like very obvious to us. Like, oh, this is how it's gonna end. And we thought it was gonna be Khamzat will either Khamzat will dominate and get like, a very decisive like finish, like early in the fight. Like we were saying, like within the first like round or two,
Yeah.
Or it was going to be Drick is going to weather the storm and then come back and win in the later rounds. And while Khamzat definitely dominated, he won every single round. Some of the way that people are talking about this fight is very polarizing. Either like Khamzat should have had multiple 10-8 rounds. He was like clearly like this was like a virtuoso performance, and some people are saying like this is fucking stupid. He's just laying and praying. I'm never gonna watch this again. He's like such a shitty champion. It's the worst thing for the UFC. And I kind of found myself in the middle of those two boats there. So where did you find yourself? Were you more impressed with Khamzat's ability to seemingly take DDP down at will and just kind of get him into positions that like we've never seen DDP be put in, like the crucifix position, I think like 3 or 4 times? Or were you more impressed with DDP's ability to be like not succumb to to being finished by Khamzat, which everyone else has been, with the exception of Kamaru Usman, who I forgot took that fight on like 10 days notice. Like I forgot that
it was even shorter than that. I think it was like a week. It was
something
fight week.
And he went up in weight. So like when we talked about like, Kamaru Usman like really, testing Khamzat and like Khamzat still coming out on top of that. It's like, yeah, but he also went up in weight and took the fight at short notice. So like,
Yeah, I mean, you might even favor Kamaru against Khamzat, especially after this fight. I would say, the two options you presented me, were you more impressed by DDP or were you more impressed by Khamzat? And I'm going to come at you with the secret third option, which was I was less impressed with both of them after this fight. Because the first one, let's talk about DDP. It looked like he didn't know that wrestling was going to be a part of this fight. And I had flagged to you earlier that like, hey man, if Derek Brunson's taking you down in 10 seconds and Darren Till is taking you down, you probably don't have good grappling, right? And his big wins are against Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, people not known for their offensive wrestling, right? And anytime he went up against like a purer wrestler, he got taken down, and even like unpure wrestlers. And so I knew that he was going to get taken down. I just thought he would have any sort of answer to engaging in a scramble. Either he literally had no answer and was like, I did not know that he would be dominant from top position and that I would be able to just like hoss my way out of it. Or he just routinely was punting on rounds, assuming Khamzat would get tired, not
Yeah.
realizing that by not forcing a scramble or by not really doing anything from the bottom, he wasn't forcing Khamzat to work. It was like in round 3, I was like,
Yeah.
Khamzat's going to do this for 5 rounds because he's not even landing. I know he landed, 500 strikes, but only 30 of them were significant strikes, right? Because they were just little arm punches most of the time.
Mhm.
But like when you just lay on top, but like he had very dominant control positions, but like it was mostly inside control. You're not going to
Yeah.
land, or the crucifix, you're not going to land devastating strikes there unless you purposely try to posture up and like create space. And he just didn't do that. So I went, well, DDP, I guess, literally doesn't have any takedown defense. And so maybe Izzy would have done better if he had tried to take him down. So yeah, I'm like, well, that doesn't, his takedown defense now, like against Renier de Ridder or Fluffy Hernandez, I'm like, I'd pick both of them over DDP
Yeah.
easily.
And that's the thing. I was I'm like with you. Like I thought that like okay, maybe he thought yeah, he was going to get taken down, but he would be able to kind of like you said hawes his way back up. And when he
Hmm.
found that like he couldn't do that, like if he wasn't having, as easy of a time with reversing positions or getting to a place where he could like wall walk or whatever, then he was like, okay, well, you know what? Hamzat always tires out, so I'll just wait this out and I'll do this. And by the third round, because basically, like you said, he wasn't providing any resistance. Hamzat wasn't, aside from that first takedown of the round, wasn't expending a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So, like, he pretty much just got to catch his breath, use the energy that he wanted, and didn't really have to expend anything. And it wasn't until like, DDP like went for broke in the last round where you could see like, okay, if you had done this in the beginning or had tried some of this, admittedly, it would
Hmm.
have put him at more risk for like his back being taken or anything like that. And maybe he was playing it safe and that's what he realized he shouldn't have done. Or maybe just couldn't do because Hamzat was so good at controlling him. But like you could
Yeah.
see, like this would have drained Hamzat more, and
Hmm.
then you would have maybe have stood a chance. But just by waiting it out and assuming that Hamzat was going to tire himself out by wrestling you or trying to take you down, like yeah, it was clearly the wrong mentality or the wrong game plan going into that. So like,
Yeah. Well, and like just seeing like any attempt to create space on bottom or to try to reverse or sweep or even engage in a scramble, like you didn't see a ton of technique from Drickus, which we never really do, right? But it was like
right,
very clear that the technical ability is just so much more superior from Hamzat. But on the flip
mhm,
side, it's like Hamzat, by holding those control positions, right? Like it's possible to get to that mounted crucifix and do it like Matt Hughes did to BJ Penn, which was a
yeah,
TKO finish,
yeah,
or
or John
was it
Jones did
yeah,
to John Jones did
is it
to
Vladimir
Matyushenko, Vladimir
Matyushenko?
Matyushenko, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and, like, didn't Valentina Shevchenko also get a finish in one of her
I
title fights?
I
She
wanna
ended
say
it with
yes,
elbows? Yeah.
from a crucifix
So, like
position, yeah.
but he never even engaged in that, he just kept it, like, little arm punches. He seemed to fight very conservatively
Yeah.
once he got it
But
to the ground. He very much neutered his own offense to not risk anything, which maybe he was scared of gassing and he knew he wanted to take it 5 rounds. But it kind of reminded me of George St. Pierre versus Dan Hardy, right? Where like Dan Hardy landed almost no punches, but George St. Pierre still took him 5 rounds to win that fight. And like at one
yeah,
point, he went for a couple of submissions. There was that arm bar that George St. Pierre had that like looked like it was going to break Dan Hardy's arm. But then
yeah.
once that didn't succeed, it looked like George just kind of went, well, I'll be satisfied with just dominating the grappling, even if I'm not landing a lot of damage or threatening a ton of submissions.
Well, don't forget that one too, and we're kinda getting off track, but, like, GSP also had an insane Kimura that I thought he was gonna rip his shoulder out,
Oh
and
yeah,
then he, like,
yeah,
lifted it, like, trying to get more leverage, and that was just enough for Dan Hardy to, like, scramble out of it. So, like, I was
yeah,
really actually more impressed with Dan Hardy's resilience and, like, willingness to be like,
yeah,
"Alright, GSP, rip my arm off, and I'm still gonna fight." Whereas this one, it was like I was actually like DDP kind of just like, okay, you got me in this crucifix position. I'm just gonna bury my head into you so that the only thing open is the back of my head, so that you actually can't hit that. And that's what he was. That's like in the first round when he got into that position, the ref warned Hamzat like, "Hey, don't hit to the back of the head." So now it's like, all right, I got you in this extremely advantageous position, but now DDP is like you said, kind of neutered that by just him like positioning and like being in a weird, you know, again, position. And like Hamzat wasn't willing to risk, trying to pry him off and drop an elbow or anything like that to try to make something from the extremely advantageous position.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is it's he wasn't willing to like try to put like have more dynamic offense. He wasn't willing to try to go for the finish really. It was just kind of as it came. So both made me go, well, that's not super impressive because it does show everyone loved to compare Hamzat to like Khabib. Like I smash, I have this insane ground and pound, and once someone gets you down, then they just destroy you. And it really shows that like he comes like a bat out of hell in the first round and like gets to the back quickly or gets to a dominant position. But if he doesn't get that that submission, he's not really a ground and pound threat. He's not really smashing people
Yeah.
from the top. He's mostly
Yeah.
just grabbing either an armbar or getting to the back and getting a choke. That's kind
Mhm.
of how he finishes. So that makes it more interesting for like if Anthony Hernandez or Ranier de Ridder, two really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA grapplers, are forced to go with them because we know that Hamzat will probably be able to take them down. But the question is then, can they scramble? Can they initiate more tiring and like risky grappling sequences so that they have a chance to score up with their own offense? Because
Yeah.
we know Hamzat like mostly just wants to get to a control position and hold you. So
Yeah. And
I thought a pretty boring fight.
yes. What do you I have two questions for you on this now.
Mhm.
What do you think of people making or highlighting the fact that Hamzat has now set a new record for strikes landed?
Yeah, but it's the biggest discrepancy between strikes landed and significant strikes landed, right?
Thank you.
I think it's like
Yes, thank you.
yeah, 500 strikes and it's like quite literally I think like 30 or 37 um significant strikes.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Like
It's like over 400 non-significant strikes.
yeah, it's like non-damaging, just like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's I mean but DDP also I don't think a champion has ever gotten blanked that hard outside of like getting finished in 13 seconds like Jose Aldo against Conor McGregor, but like just
Right,
5 minutes of a champion or 5 rounds of a champion. Literally, I mean, I think Dricus landed one strike in the first round, then like two or three in the next. Like, I mean, less than 10 strikes landed. And I think of a 25-minute fight, it was 22 minutes of control time for Hamzat. Like,
Mhm.
just insane numbers. But
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
there was no pursuit of the finish in a lot of
yeah,
these
nothing was
sequences, right?
done with those advantages, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, right. I think it is interesting because I am interested to see Anthony Hernandez and Ranier de Ridder, like people who have answers to that grappling. And they
Mhm.
won't have the perfect answer, right? Because neither one of them have great takedown defense. And
Right.
neither one of them are like so good that if Hamzat really, I mean, but even going back and watching like the Robert Whitaker fight, the intensity with which he pursues the back and pursues everything was just higher than the intensity in the first round of this fight. But it also makes
Yes.
me wonder, dude, if Robert Whitaker's teeth hadn't exploded into his head, because
Yeah,
everyone
if
was
he
saying
had
like,
had teeth, yeah.
yeah, because everyone was like, oh, imagine his squeeze. But then we saw Hamzat like squeeze Dricus Duplessis' big melon like 4 or 5 times in this fight when the choke wasn't in, and it didn't seem to bother Dricus. It's like, maybe if Robert had teeth that weren't like detached from his jaw, that could have been a more interesting fight. But
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see it. So
No,
yeah,
unfortunately not. And
yeah,
what do you think about Dana White saying, "I would have given Hamzat 4 10-8 rounds"?
yeah. I mean, the number one thing we're supposed to judge on is damage, right? And like,
Right.
not a lot of damage was done. I think
No.
Dana is so desperate for a star, right?
He has
Like,
some
so
already.
I know, but like Hamzat, I mean, do you remember Hamzat in like 2020, 2021? Like he was the like hot new thing. He was the guy everyone was
That was
excited about.
I get it, and I totally remember. I remember when he first came in, and then he fought
Hmm.
again like 9 days later. Like I
Yeah.
get it. Like that was his opening and everything. That was 5 years ago, you
Yeah, but
know?
Dana's been checked out for 5 years, you know? Dana's not been paying attention to the sport since then. He's like, "Oh
Alright, yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
fair.
remember this guy, right?" Like it's yeah, Dana's been checked out for a long time. And now he has another Muslim fighter who he can put on the Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi cards, which I know they get big site fees for that.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What do we do? Who do you want to see? Because we've got quite a few contenders at middleweight. Who do you want to see fight Hamzat next? And what do you want to do with DDP?
I Here's the problem, like, we talked about this, I brought this up last time. Middleweight has no one who can pose a grappling threat. Like like, I'm not even saying that rivals Hamzat. I'm saying that, like, which other middleweights actually go to use, like, their grappling as their main offensive ability to set other things up?
Fluffy Hernandez.
Okay, aside I think that's pretty much it, but he also, like, he turns to striking a lot too. It's not like,
Yeah. I
but,
mean,
like
but his thing is he strikes with you, and then when you take him down or you get tired, he takes you down, like he did with Roma Delitze, just taking him down like 30 times, then making him stand up and just wearing him out. Like
Hmm,
he has like an attritive grappling. Right? He's not an explosive athlete like Hamzat, but that might be the style of grappling that beats Hamzat's. You know?
yeah, that is fair, yeah,
So
but I
especially if
guess,
he doesn't
what?
need to worry about getting ground and pounded, as it's
So, what
clear, like you don't really need to worry about.
are we saying? Hamzat versus Fluffy Hernandez and DDP versus RDR?
I think so. I think that'd be good.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
it kind of leaves Imavov and Kai Bahalio out in the cold, but fuck it. Like we've got
Well,
Fluffy on a 9-fight win streak, and RDR DDP is Goofy Man's delight. So I think that's what you
yeah,
got to do.
yeah.
So I like any fight that DDP has next. I want him to fight as close to a grappler as possible. Cause like if it's this thing of, oh wow, you beat older strikers, and it turns out that you being a big hoss helps beat older strikers in this division, but you are basically nubbers against anyone with a basic double leg. I just want him fighting people with double legs. Like we don't need to, right? I
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, but no one in the middleweight division has a strong double leg like that.
Well, Rainier de Ritter doesn't have the best like wrestling, but he just falls into a clinch and then like ties people up from a clinch. Um you could say Fluffy Hernandez has good grappling to take down. I'm trying to think who else. Like Brendan Allen, not really. He doesn't have any striking, though he does have grappling. Or he doesn't really have any wrestling, but he does have grappling once it gets to the ground. I mean, I guess yeah, you don't really have anyone.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. Do you do MVP versus Dricus Duplessis?
Oh god. No, I don't
Do you
want
do
that.
Jared Cannonier versus Dricus Duplessis?
No.
What about Share a Bullet? Right. Like,
Bullet just lost too, so no, it's gotta be someone who, like, I don't feel like
or
someone who, like, that far down who lost can really, like, jump the line for that? Like, I
well,
mean, it
okay.
would make sense for someone like maybe MVP or RDR to fight DDP.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's do Ritter. Yeah.
I think it's gotta be. I think it's gotta be. Yeah. And then I think the person that's most interesting to me from a stylistic perspective is Anthony Hernandez to fight uh Hamzat, just
Yeah,
because
that
of his grappling chops. I mean, he submitted like 4-time world champion black belt Adolfo Vieira in the UFC because his grappling is so exhausting that he just like tired out an amazing jiu-jitsu ace and then submitted him. Like
yeah,
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see
yeah,
it. Or if
yeah, that's
Kamaru
fair.
Usman can't get a title fight at welterweight. Let's bring him up. Let's give him a full camp, see if he can beat Khamzat, because he might be able to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's pretty old though, and won't be able to.
Yeah, but I think he's looking for a title shot against the winner of Jack Taylor Madalena and Islam. So
Is he? Huh.
yeah, he just
Alright.
beat Joaquin Buckley. He's ranked
Yeah.
number 5 in the division.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, if Anthony Hernandez or any of those guys at middleweight are not available, a Kamaru fight would be interesting. A rematch because it was a close fight. It was a close fight, and it was like on like 7 days notice or whatever the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Anything else to say about that main event?
No. I mean, it was both exactly what we thought was going to happen, but ended in the way that we didn't think it would happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a weird mix there.
Yeah. What do you think of people like Dana White and Robert Whitaker saying, if you didn't enjoy the fight, then you're a filthy casual?
I thought some of the things that both Khamzat and DDP did were like admirable and demonstrated their skills and their abilities, but also just like it was like 2 out of the 3 steps I wanted. It was just not finish. Whether it was a literal Khamzat getting finish or DDP just not taking that extra step to be like, okay, I need to do something to make things happen. Because it's just the same thing is happening over and over again. And if you do the same thing expecting a different result, you're fucking donkey brained. Like, like something has to change.
It's a famous line.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Einstein said that.
Yeah. Maybe it was Jesus. I can't remember.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like, hey, everything was like on both ends, doing well, like doing something, and then like just not bringing it to a close, and I don't know. I don't think it was like a super snooze fest that a lot of people are making out to be like, oh, I'm just laying, but it was also like, all right, if you have this many advantages and you're making this fight, like basically dictating exactly what's going to happen and where it's going to happen, I would expect a little bit more. So
yeah, I will say like around minute like 12 or 13 in round 3, I was like, oh, okay, I have seen what the next 12 minutes is gonna look like. So it kind of became dull after that because, like you said, nothing changed. Not the offense thrown out by Khamzat nor the defense by DDP. And like I didn't hear the corner advice, but I can't I'm like, what was DDP's corner telling him to do? Because they like it seemed like he would seem so shocked that he got taken down so easily. And it's like, bro, you have to know this was coming. You've taken yourself down trying to lateral drop people in fights. I've seen you, like, you try to take Izzy down and you hit your own head off the canvas. Like, it's, I said it, man. I said, like, you can't be that glaringly deficient and then expect to beat someone like Khamzat. Anyway, so Gloat Fest for me. I get points for that. Hooray, hooray. Let's move on to the co-main event, which this fight was a banger. Collin, this was your first time seeing Aaron Pico fight. We'll get to the finish. So hold off. I can see you pulling your pants down, getting all excited. But tell me, what did you think of what you saw of Aaron Pico before he got absolutely crushed?
I was a little bit excited. I was like, okay, maybe like again, I didn't see anything that was like, oh man, like Lerone Murphy's got his work cut out for him tonight, or like, oh, like this is very one side. I didn't see any of that. I was like, okay, like just because we've been talking about a lot of transplants from other organizations, like can they rise up to the level of competition? I was like, okay, this one is not as disparate. It didn't look like Aaron Pico was as, what do we say, like with Patchy Mix, like it was like he was shocked by like the stage or whatever. Like and it did seem like he was a little bit, like just a step behind, but not like nothing that I like completely wrote him off. But it was literally like I looked down at my phone for like 5 seconds as someone messaged me, and then when I looked up at my screen again, I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? Like I thought we were going on this,
Damn. Damn.
And like, I was like, wait, what the? And then I saw you texting me right after that. I was like, what the fuck? What? So I had to wait for the fucking replay. And I was like, God. So yeah, you know, I was equally shocked that Lerone Murphy got that finish in that way. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
so
he's mostly a decision machine. He's not out here finishing fools with spinning elbows.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think was the downfall of Pico here?
I'm not, I want to watch it again. Because again, I don't know if it's something that Lerone Murphy had seen and prepped for. Like, because I also don't really see Lerone Murphy as being one of those kind of like not wild, but like dynamic, crazy angle striker that would throw
Mhm.
like a spinning elbow like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I will say I think there's decent evidence to say that he saw it in the fight because there were a couple of times when Aaron Pico was like, it's one of the things that makes him very good, especially with the Bellator and PFL, is like he's very aggressive and he like mixes up his attacks and like really throws everything into it. He was doing great work to the body, really throwing aggressive combinations, but he like overcommits a lot of the time. And Lerone Murphy caught him, I think, twice with like an intercepting knee as he kind of
Mhm.
like rushed in. And so
Yeah.
they knew that like, hey, we need to time with a knee or an elbow as this guy rushes in on us. And every time he kept backing Lerone Murphy up to the cage, he would do that little stutter step, which he had done before to kind of get around to the outside of Lerone Murphy's lead hand, right, to take an angle. And it was like he had done that twice before against Lerone Murphy, right? He'd back him up. He would kind of do that step out to the side, take an angle, and then try to rush in. And the third time, Lerone Murphy just was like, "Oh, here he goes again." And you watched it. You watch as he just kind of glides directly into the path of the elbow. Um, so Lerone Murphy does seem like he picked that out and saw it and was like, "Okay, I've been practicing intercepting with knees and elbows. I guess I got to kind of turn here to get him." Um, yeah, I thought it was great because it looked like an on the fly adaptation from within the fight itself, knowing kind of, hey, intercepting him as he runs into me. Better to do that on big bony joints rather than like fists or feet. Uh, it was great. It was super impressive, and
Yeah.
it's sad because I don't think Aaron Pico is ever going to really fight for a title now. Like that's a
Yeah.
pretty bad loss, and he was out cold for a long time.
Yeah. That was a brutal knockout there.
Yeah, but is that knockout of the year so far?
Uh,
Am I
I don't
missing one?
know.
The Charles Oliveira one was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that one's, yeah. And the stakes on that one were much higher. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's up there though. It's a dope spinning elbow, and if he gets his wish, it'll grant him a title shot. Yeah, I thought super impressive. Like I thought Lerone Murphy looked great. He came in on short notice, and yeah, got a spectacular finish on. I think probably the only person from Bellator or the PFL that the UFC actually wanted to build into a star, because they don't seem that interested in building Patchy Mix or uh, uh, Pitbull into stars. That's why they
yeah.
like sacrificed them in their first fight.
Yeah.
Um, but damn, man, they got something special with Murphy. So
Yeah.
exciting to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, do you want to see Lerone Murphy fight Alexander Volkanovski, or would you prefer to see Blue Jean Silva fight Alexander Volkanovski next?
Ooh. So here's the thing. I, with Blue Jean Silva, because that's kind of like we were kind of highlighting as a potential. I don't know when we were texting or we were talking. I don't know, but that one was like posed a very like striking heavy affair for Volk
Mhm.
that he would have to navigate. And when we threw out Lerone Murphy, I was kind of like, Volk is more, strategic. I think he would be able to devise more of a game plan for that one. I kind of wrote it off, but then what you highlighted of like Lerone Murphy making the adaptations in the moment, like that kind of rises for me a little bit more. But I don't know. I can't base it off of just this one fight, even though it
Mhm.
was a superb knockout. And if it really was a in the moment, adaptation and adjustment to get the highlight win, like good for Lauren Murphy. I just haven't seen that very frequently. Whereas with
Yeah.
Blue Jeans, we'll always see is like, oh, like insane striking and just like vicious aggressiveness and like kind of like wild man antics there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's would you pick Lerone Murphy over Volkanovski if they did fight next? Would you favor
N-
him, I guess?
I don't think so, no.
No. Would you favor Blue Jean Silva over Volk?
I think Blue Jean Silva would pose. Okay, before this fight, I thought that Blue Jean Silva would definitely pose a unique, dynamic, wild challenge that Volk, because Volk is very, strategic. He's very like orthodox by the book, has very good technical ability. And when you have someone who's like kind of wild like that, you it's hard to prepare for that, you know? It's either okay, your technique is so good that it doesn't matter what wildness has, or it's like you're almost not ready for that kind of stuff. And I think Volk is still pretty disciplined and comes up with very good strategies that he'd be able to handle Blue Jean Silva, but there's just like there's a wildness to Silva that always poses danger, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I think I would say I'd probably favor Lerone Murphy higher against Volk than I would Blue Jean Silva. Because Blue
Really?
Jean Silva is so crazy, but he has no strategy or methodology to his fights, right? He's just kind of like, fuck it. I'm a do me. Which like you need to have some semblance of game plan and strategy when
Yeah.
fighting
Yes,
uh
yes.
Volk. And like Lerone Murphy is much more methodical. So that's what I'd say. But I think either way, right? I know Blue Jean Silva's got a fight coming up against Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
But if he beats Diego Lopez, I think either one is a good matchup for Volk, a good fight for Volk, and hell, either one of them could become the next featherweight champion, which feels so strange to say
Yeah.
because this is the division of kings, and I don't know if I view either one of them fully as a king. The Blue Jean Silva might. I don't know. Who's to say? Um, yeah.
Yep.
Anything else to say? I mean, what do you do with Aaron Pico? Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, he's only 28, right? So,
Yeah, he's young, but like you said, it's a division of kings, man. This is a
yeah,
hard division.
yeah. They probably should I don't know. He should fight like Benoit Saint Denis or like Michael Chandler or like Hanata Moicano. Like
You want to move
really
up?
kind of. No, no. Oh shit! I was looking at the bottom 15 of lightweight. I meant to look at the bottom 15 of featherweight. Giga
Oh, okay.
Chikadze, Dan Ige. Oh yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
have him
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
Dan Ige or like Patricio Pitbull, right? Like
yeah. Yeah, yeah, okay.
have him fight someone back there. Like let's slowly try to build him up because there's enough aging names in this featherweight division that you could let him feast on some old people for a little while
Mhm.
before making him fight Lerone Murphy, Blue Jean Silva, Yair Rodriguez. We don't need him doing that right now. Like
Yeah.
let's. I think Dan Ige or Pitbull might be good. It's so weird because the big fight that when Aaron Pico signed on, Pitbull was the champion at 145 in Bellator, and like the thought was, hey, this is going to be the new young kid who's going to come through, beat Pitbull one day, and then he
Hmm.
never got a chance because he every time he would have a pivotal uh number one contender fight, he would lose, and so
Oh,
he never
yeah.
got the chance to fight Pitbull and like gain that cred. So I mean, not that there's much cred left on the old cred tread on the tires, something like that. That we'll figure something out. Right? You could have him fight Pitbull.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that might work. I'd do that or Danny Gay. Danny Gay's a nice, easy top 15 to get a win against. As much as you love him,
Oh, poor Danny Gay.
just look. Not everyone can be a top 5 fighter in the world. That's
No,
just how it
no,
goes
that's
sometimes.
true. I
Too
mean,
many
yeah.
people. Too many people. Uh, Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the other spinning back elbow knockout of the night, where I shouldn't have doubted my boy, that 8 cigarettes a
I
day, Carlos Prates.
yeah, man. Holy shit.
I yeah, this was impressive too.
Yeah.
He looked good. I
He
thought he
looked
like looked
great.
yeah looked legitimately good, and also like Jeff Neal looked good. Jeff Neal looked wicked fast and like
Yeah.
a lot faster than Carlos Prates. He hit him with like a 5 punch combination at one point. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is where Jeff Neal wins. But then Dude, Carlos Prates got back to kicking the leg and sticking and moving, and then
Mhm.
bam, spinning elbow. I
Yeah,
was
in
like,
the last second of the first round too.
yeah, crazy, dude. Dude, the
Yeah.
fighting nerds they're entertaining. It's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
them.
yeah. I love
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I don't know what else to really say other than like it was dope. It was dope for as long as it lasted. And I'm sad for Jeff Neal. But dude,
Yeah.
Carlos Prates, this is good. Let's get him moving up in weight or moving up in the division.
Well, apparently he's fighting in the, October Rio card now. Like, he
Against
asked for
who?
that. I don't know, but he was asking for that, and in the post-fight, interview,
Uh-huh.
they said, "Yeah, Dana said you can fight on the UFC Rio card now." So,
Damn. Well, who is there for him to fight? He just beat
uh
Jeff Neal. Fights Gilbert Burns. Dude, we just saw Gilbert Burns get taken to the glue factory. We don't need that. Colby Covington's already been taken to the glue factory, yet he's somehow ranked above him. Could do Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley, Carlos Prates might be pretty dope.
Oh, yeah, that could be
You
good.
could do Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates. That'd be kind of
Mhm.
dope.
Okay, okay.
We saw him fight Ian Machado Gary. We don't need to do that. Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that. Do we want to be mean to Leon Edwards and make Leon Edwards fight Carlos Prates? We could do that.
I
Um,
mean,
that'd be fucked up. That'd be fucked up.
it would, but it also be like, "Okay, Leon, do you still belong in the top 5?
I
Do you still
guess.
belong up there?"
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or if Shavkat ever decides to come back, we could let
I
Shavkat
don't wanna
feast
see
on Carlos
that.
Prates for a minute.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
want that.
might be cool. Might
I
be
want
cool.
our smoking, drinking, steak eating boy to keep getting his winning ways.
Yeah, I mean, as long as dude, welterweight's in such a weird place. But yeah,
It really is, yeah.
whoever they want to have him fight. Or if MVP ever decides to move back down to welterweight from middleweight, like we could do an MVP Carlos Prates fight. Um, yeah, I'd watch that.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that could also be, like, frustratingly boring, where, like,
Yeah.
MVP
I
just,
mean, you
uses
mean
his
every MVP fight is
Yeah.
frustratingly boring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where's Wonder Boy? Do we need to kill Wonder Boy again? No.
Has he
Okay.
yeah, isn't has he not retired yet, or
I don't know. I don't think he's retired. He just lost though. He just got knocked out again, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so no, let's not do that. Let's do Joaquin Buckley. I think that's good.
Okay, okay, okay.
Right? Because if Carlos Prates loses, it'll probably still be a slobber knocker, and Joaquin Buckley will be back in his winning ways. But I also think like Carlos Prates is probably going to beat Joaquin Buckley. So,
Yeah.
yeah. What do we do with Jeff Neal? Do we care? Nah,
Ah.
nah, yeah. Fuck it. Right? He can fight Gilbert Burns or like no. This is Glue Factory, right? We're getting all the olds out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the worst fight of the night. MVP, Jared Cannonier.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jesus.
now what made you think Jared Cannonier would win this fight, Colin?
Well, the last round, I thought he was gonna do for the first 2 rounds, like but dude,
No.
like, okay, the first knockdown, legit, okay, like, caught him walking in and just, like, sniped him, that was good. The second knockdown was, like, this goofy ass, like, spin, fall down, like, I was like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Like, "Oh, right, I'm watching, like, a 4-year-old fight." Like
Yeah.
that's not good. I shouldn't be enjoying and, you know, illegally streaming, elder abuse. Like, that's just rude, like
Yeah. Yeah. It was not a good fight. It
No.
was Jared Cannonier looked old, but also like MVP is old. And like the thing with MVP is like when you really go back and watch that fight, you're like, wow, he does a lot of showboating
Yeah.
when nothing happens.
Yes,
You know?
but
He he'll like throw a kick that like nearly hits and be like, way and make it look like he's doing all this shit. And I'm like, I think there's like 10 punches that have landed this round, my guy. Like you
yeah,
gotta stop acting like you're doing big things.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Yeah. Uh, he called out Robert Whitaker. Do you
yeah.
want to see Robert Whitaker against MVP?
No, but I think he would beat MVP. I think he would I
Oh,
think he would
yeah?
knock him out, like
Hopefully. I'd hope so, man. I I don't know. Robert Whitaker's looking slower and like looking like he's having a harder time. I'll always pull for Bobby Knuckles, but damn, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just don't know.
it's
What do
more
you also
about
think?
it's
Oh,
more
go
if
ahead.
if okay, if Robert Whitaker were to fight MVP, it would be more like, can he slip that first punch and close enough distance at that time? Can he control the range? That's what it comes down to. Can he control the range to get his combinations off? And if he does, he's knocking Michael Van Page out. Like,
Hmm.
and I think he could do it. I have faith that, you know, Robert Whitaker and his new jaw and teeth can do that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. The
But
other
also,
name that
what
was
what the fuck do I know? I got 0 points this whole pick here,
Yeah, that's right.
like,
Your
I don't know
plums are
dick.
pretty stupid. Yeah, yeah. I don't. Ugh. The other name that was thrown out for MVP was Sean Strickland. Are you more interested in an MVP Sean Strickland or MVP Robert fight?
Uh, MVP versus Robert Whitaker. MVP Sean Strickland sounds fucking awful and boring as shit.
Yeah, I mean every MVP fight's pretty awful and boring as shit. So
So is every Sean Strickland fight. So, like,
yeah, yeah. That's a recipe for dog shit. That's
yeah,
how you
that would be
make
a
it.
terrible fight, dude.
Yeah, yeah. What else happened on this card? Oh yeah, you picked Kaya Sakura, which I don't know why the fuck he was a minus 3-5 favorite. Because I told you, Tim Elliott was gonna take that boy down and submit him, and
Okay,
that's
well,
what Tim
first of
Elliott
all,
did.
yeah, did he though? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
he got the submission. But okay, the first thing. Okay, first of all, Kaya Sakura was piecing Tim Elliott up, like,
yeah.
and Tim Elliott did not shoot for any takedowns. And he got the
Mhm.
first takedown only because Kaya Sakura threw a head kick that landed first and then got taken down. And then the second one, like, I think it was exactly as you said. He went for like a flying knee that Tim Elliott ate and then took him down. Like,
Yeah, right. That's exactly yeah. You shouldn't be throwing flying knees at high risk moves against Tim Elliott because he'll just crash into you. You'll get taken down because you're Kaya Sakura and you're not very good at grappling. And then Tim Elliott nearly submitted Demetrius Johnson. He like nearly outgrappled Demetrius Johnson. Like you'll lose.
Mhm.
Tim Elliott also looks like he's made of like tan bark and like chewing tobacco. Like you can't head kick him. Like or you can, but there's no brain to really rattle him. So
Uh,
this is foolish. This is a fool's errand. Um, yeah, I called it. I knew it, and
yeah,
I
no,
got
you did.
it
You
right.
you did.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. First round, or I did first round submission rather than second round. Damn, but I knew it. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, chalk it up to Stu being right about almost everything except Jeff Neal. Sorry, Carlos Prates. I'll never doubt you again, unless you fight Ian Machado Carey again, and then I will doubt you. But
And
yeah,
Lerone Murphy.
and Lerone Murphy. Well, I wasn't wrong. I picked him. I
Well,
just
we
didn't
both
know if he
said it
was
would go to a
gonna.
decision. We didn't know
Yeah,
he would fucking have the knockout of the night and like,
yeah. Which is crazy because Carlos Prates did it right before him, and then he was like, "Hold my beer," and he did it better. And that's
yeah,
crazy. That's nuts. It's like one of the best knockouts of the year on maybe the second best card of the year.
yeah,
It might
sure.
be what 317. That was the Ilia Topuria Charles Oliveira fight card.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that might be knockout of the year and card of the year, and this is second place for card of the year and knockout of the year. Kind of crazy. Kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Um, but a good night of fights, right?
Yeah,
Um,
overall pretty good, I think.
yeah. Sad that the main event. I was so excited. This was like my most anticipated fight. It was a pretty big dud, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Upsetting that Khamzat Chimaev called out a Russian warlord's gym, but that's what we have to just deal with now. And
Yep.
that's that. Who knows what's going to happen at middleweight? And man, I wonder if DDP is going to learn wrestling. I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think any fucking middleweight is gonna learn wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. So what are we talking about next time?
Uh, that's a good question. What's next?
Uh,
Do
oh
we
wait,
have a
I
card
wanted to
this
ask.
weekend?
Did
Yeah,
you did you watch Moses Aitama versus Dillian White?
I did not.
Okay, it's like a 2-minute fight. Just go online and watch it. Moses Saitama, Dillian White, knowing that Dillian White is like perennially a top 10 heavyweight,
Okay.
and like very good. Like, dude, Moses Saitama is I'm not saying you should fight Usyk next, but like maybe Dubois, maybe Anthony Joshua. Like this kid might be the next great heavyweight.
Wow.
He's
Okay.
I think he's like 24. He is super impressive.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so what are we talking about next time?
Well, are we gonna? Do we care about the fight card that's happening in
Oh, it's like
Shanghai this weekend?
main event is Johnny Walker. Oh,
Yeah.
you do have Zhang Min Yang, which I like him.
Yeah. Brian Ortega is fighting Aljamain
Against
Sterling.
Aljamain Sterling, that's a cool fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pavlovich
Sumaderji is fighting.
Okay, against Kevin Borjas. Okay.
Hey,
Hey, we've got Loner Kavanaugh
I was
against
just gonna
Charles
say,
Johnson. Hey.
yeah.
Whoa, they shipped Michelle Pereira to China?
Yeah.
Why did they do that? That's not very nice.
Especially when there's gonna be a fucking like
yeah,
Brazil
like a
card
Rio
in a
card
couple
soon.
weeks.
Yeah. No, they were like, "Fuck you. You're going all the way to China." Well, I guess we'll talk about a few of these fights. I can't bring myself to care about the main event.
Oh yeah, no.
But that co-main is interesting. The Sumaderji fight is interesting, and the Loner Kavanaugh Charles Johnson fight. I mean, that should be the main event. I don't know why the fuck they got Johnny Walker up there. Has Johnny Walker won a fight in the past like 4 years?
No, hasn't he been knocked out like 4 times in a row now?
Yeah, and they're just gonna hand him against the number 1 like knockout machine, Jung Min Young. Okay, he got knocked out against
Volkan Ozdemir and
Ozdemir and
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev.
He got knocked out by Ankalaev. That's not good, man. Like
he did beat Anthony Smith. And then he
okay.
did KO Paul Craig. Johnny Walker. Why won't the UFC release you? Why won't they release you back into the Brazilian wilds where you belong? Actually, I think he lives in Ireland now. Release him to the bogs of Ireland. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, maybe we'll talk about this card. I don't know. Do we have any boxing coming up?
In September, in about a month.
Yeah. But nothing in August, really. No, it is just September. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll kind of pussyfoot around and talk about this upcoming card. Whatever. Maybe there'll be breaking news. Maybe there won't be. Maybe we'll get more clarity because like Dana White came out apparently was saying that like, oh no, pay-per-views aren't going away. They just won't be on Paramount Plus, right? So now the question is like, okay, are there pay-per-views or they're not pay-per-views? How many?
Well, he said that it's not the end of the pay-per-view era, so he left it very open.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because what does that mean? Like, are we just gonna move back to pay-per-views instantly? Because we might.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this has been Two Fight Fans podcast. I'm one Fight Fan Stewart.
I'm the other Collin.
Join us later this week. We're gonna talk about just a few fights from the Shanghai card. UFC really stacking it with Road to UFC fights, and then Michelle Pereira inexplicably forcing him to fly into the Northern Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere, like just every hemisphere he's not for a fight, even though there was a fight in his backyard several weeks. He must have really pissed someone off. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.